Hi, and welcome back to the Wayward Skein. I'm Lynn. I'm known as Toll Baby pretty much anywhere on the internet. I have an Instagram. I don't use it anymore. Sorry. I'm on Ravelry. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Discord, but I don't use it much. I just use it to talk to my kids. If this is your first time here, then I hope you enjoy it. And if you came back, yay, thank you. I never expect people to come back for some reason. It was kind of funny because when I podcasted 2 weeks ago, it was my first episode in 2 years. And as soon as I posted the episode, I almost immediately lost 30 subscribers. I guess people had stayed subscribed to the channel and hadn't realized it. And when I started posting again, they were like, oh, no, not her again. So if you do like it, like and subscribe the video to the video. I guess, if you don't, sorry, bye. It's a knitting podcast, among other things. I knit, I crochet, I hypothetically spin, although my wheel hasn't been out of the closet in several years. Anyway, so I like yarn a lot. You can see there's piles of yarn behind me. That closet is full of yarn. I'm a little obsessed. So it's been about 2 weeks. I hope everybody's having a great Easter / Passover / Ramadan / whatever else is being celebrated right now weekend. As you can tell by the glare, it is sunny outside. It's beautiful. I just came in, actually. I took advantage of the fact that they were open today to go to the Britannia Bake Shop, which is bad for me because I'm not supposed to be eating bread this week, which I'm not. All the bread-like products that I bought were for my son. I bought jam and a date square for me. It's unleavened. I'm allowed. So it's beautiful outside. I hope everybody's getting a chance to enjoy some weather and some outdoors and some family time and so on and so forth. I'm celebrating Easter with my parents tomorrow. I didn't get a chance to do Passover this year because I'm working. My schedule doesn't change just because there's a holiday. I work for a call center, so I'm scheduled whether there's a holiday or not. So I do have a couple of finished objects this week, and I had to pick it up because I dropped it. So it is Gen finished in that all the ends are woven in, but it is not yet blocked because it's acrylic, and I'm not quite sure how I'm going to go about doing that. So I will experiment. But this is the Elven Pixie Baby Blanket. Oh, bits of it. It's a beautiful lace pattern. It's super, super easy to memorize. This is by Tall Gal Knits. It's a freebie on Ravelry. I had originally started it in 2016 for a coworker who was pregnant. I'm sorry, I just keep looking over here at the screen because I love the lace. It's so pretty. I learned a new skill in finishing this. It is a crocheted picot bind-off, which I've never done before. I'd done a picot knit bind-off before, but I'd never done picot in crochet, so I learned a new skill. And I had to try a couple of different methods to do it because I didn't like how it looked the first time. And when I looked up how to do it, I didn't follow the instructions in the pattern because I didn't like how it looked. So I went on YouTube and I looked up how to do picot crochet bind-off, and I found somebody who had a tutorial on how to do it 2 different ways. And it was the other way that I ended up doing it, not the way that was described in the pattern. So I really enjoyed doing that. And I think it's upside down because I think they're supposed to be little hearts. There we go. So I suspect they're supposed to be little hearts. There's probably mistakes in here. When I had originally started knitting it, I only got about this far before getting fed up and putting it down. I can't remember why I put it down. I know I wasn't working with that person anymore when I finished it or when I started it, but I can't for the life of me remember why I put it down. Anyway, I started this in 2016, and then I knit the other 3 balls worth in the last few weeks and did the picot bind off. I followed Andrea's advice. Andrea, the cat lady, was because last week I did, or 2 weeks ago, I did a live stream. So she was chatting with me while I was taping. And I was like, oh, I don't know if I should keep the whole ball for the edging, blah, blah, blah. And she was like, yeah, do it. Just be safe and do it. And so I did. and I ended up with some leftovers, which I will explain in a minute. But this is, I started this in January 2016. It is finally done. Yay. It is the softest acrylic I've ever worked with. This is Schachenmeyer Nomota Bravo in color 8184. I bought it at a little shop called So Crafty in Rideau Ferry, which is a teeny tiny little town about an hour and a half outside of Ottawa. It's a little quilting shop, but they also have yarn. So I bought this way back then. I bought 5 balls of it, not knowing what I was going to do with it. And it turned out to be a baby blanket. So all the ends are woven in. Ta-da! I did that yesterday while I was working. I normally watch Netflix and knit when it's slow at the call center because it's slow and I've got nothing to do. I mean, I read through the tech guides and stuff like that, but sometimes you just get bored and you knit. So yesterday I actually ran out of stuff to watch because Crave wasn't popping up for me. My internet was a little wonky. So I ended up weaving in my ends. Well, I didn't have to concentrate on anything. I'm loving the way this blanket turned out. It is the perfect size. It is really soft and it's machine washable. So I'm not sure who I'm going to give it to, but I had about half a ball of yarn left over after I did the edging. So what I did next, and this is another finished object. I'll put that there. Look at that. Isn't it cute? It's a little hat. And I love the top. I love how it worked out. So this is the Baby Fisherman's Cat by Kate Carter Evans. It's another freebie on Rev. I used about half a ball to do the little hat. So now whoever gets the blanket is going to get a little matching hat, and hopefully it'll fit on their baby's head. And my end that I wove in is actually sticking out the outside. I'll have to fix that. I'll try to pull it back in. I just noticed that there's a little end sticking out. So this, both of these were done on US 7, which is a 4.5 millimeter needle. It's pointy here, but when you actually stick it on a baby's head, the point kind of like flattens out, I hope. I think it does. It was a little tricky, like the little bits at the top are a little, the way that it does those arches is a little tricky, but it was a really quick, easy knit. The longest part, honestly, was the 40 rows of straight ripping. We all know how much I love monotonous knitting. I don't. So it was very monotonous for the first 40 rows, and that is the only reason this took me 3 days to knit. Because I was wanting to gouge my eyes out with the 40 rows of ribbing. Which is weird because I've done socks, and when I do socks for somebody else, it's 75 rows for the leg of straight ribbing. And I've done, I think, 12 pairs of those 3x2 rib full-length socks. You'd think I could handle a hat. I don't know why, but it really bugged me. And I still had some left over. So third finished object in the same yarn is this little guy. Isn't it cute? It's a little flattened out on this side. I didn't have enough stuffing for it. You can see more on this side that it's a little flatter on that side. But this cute little thing is the Little Hearts by Susan B. Anderson. I did this one in sport weight, so I used a size 5 needle, and I started a second one, but I was getting like really big gaps on the side for some reason. I'm not sure why, but look how nice that looks on the side. Isn't that nice and even? I couldn't do that again if I tried, which I proved by trying to start a second one and then ending up with these huge gaps all over the place. Look at that. Yuck. I'm going to pull that out and start over because I have just enough to make another little heart. So I was planning on just putting them on a string, and like they're just 2 little hearts that you can hang on the wall. So I've made one, and I was actually using the ends from the blanket to stuff it with. So I have enough ends left over to stuff a second one, and I just wasn't sure how the closing was going to go if I stuffed it all the way, and as it turned out, it would have been fine, and I should have stuffed it all the way, but there we are. Lesson learned. So that's another freebie on, I can't remember the can't remember the blog name where she published that pattern, but it is on Ravelry. I'll link to it. So it's Susan B. Anthony's Little Hearts. And that one I used a US 5. These are my, what are these called? Marbles? Knit Pro marbles? Or Knitter's Pride marbles? I can't remember who makes them, but they're marbles. And they're fabulous little plastic needles. They're actually really fun to knit with. They're fairly pointy for a plastic needle. And I enjoy knitting with them a lot. Plus, they're really cute. Look. I have a set of green ones, too. These are size 7. Back in the day, those were sent to me by Stephanie at Stitchcraft Marketing, I think. She doesn't work there anymore, and I'm not affiliated with them anymore, so. But they're lovely little needles, and I really like them, and I would like to get more. So one of these days, I will get some more. I only put 1 square. Sorry, it's spring, and outside hates me. And I just came in, so I'm sorry if I'm sniffly. I did 1 last square on row 8 of my mitered square blanket. I just dropped something on my foot. So I just added this square. They're all random acrylics. This one is Rossetti Lollipop. I don't know the colorway, but it's Rossetti Lollipop. I bought it at Knit Knackers years ago, back when they were still in the big loft store. It was in a bargain bin. I paid like $3 for the ball. I still have tons of it left. So I have 1 more row to do on this one. And this is just a mitered square blanket. I'm not following a pattern or anything like that. And there's hair all over it. Not cat hair, my hair. I shed like a dog. So it's just a plain mitered square blanket. It's probably closest to the knitted patchwork recipe by Martine Ellis. And these are all just like random acrylic leftovers that I have and random balls that I've been given over the years. Sorry, the focus is being a little weird. So yeah, I just do 15 stitches per side, so it's 30 stitches total. And I don't do the double decrease. I do 1 decrease and then I do the other decrease on the other side of the marker. So some of these I can identify and some of them are just, who knows. They're just acrylics. So I'm thinking 1 more row. Actually, I might just call it a day and put an edging on it now. It's a pretty good size. It's about the same size as the other one. So I might just put an edging on it and you might see it as a faux next week. Who knows? And that's my bin of acrylic scraps right here with all the boxes and stuff behind it. But this is my bin of acrylic scraps and random things that I have lying around. My worsted acrylic scraps, rather. Because I do have other sizes of acrylic and I don't keep them with those. But that's my scrap blanket bin, I guess. I was going to try to do a crocheted one, like a granny stripe blanket. I cannot master it. I cannot master it. It is, I've tried starting twice now. I don't like the way it looks. Maybe I'm not using a big enough hook for the yarn, but I'm not having much luck with it. I've tried following 3 or 4 different tutorials. It's not working out for me. So I may just do mini granny squares. I'm not sure, like little tiny ones, about the size of the mitered square. I don't know. The mitered square is pretty quick though, so I really like that. So that's one of the works in progress that I've had this week. I started that back in 2019, just scraps. So I have a couple of mitered square projects on the go. I have a sock yarn size one too, but I haven't touched that one since last year. I'm going to have to because I've been obtaining minis. And I've misplaced 1 bag of minis, but I know where the other one is. And I've last week, 2 weeks ago, I showed you the ones that I bought from the cat lady, her Valentine heart ones. And I will show you what I've acquired this week elsewhere. So the only other thing that I've been working on this week, and I feel bad because I have all these works in progress that I need to find the patterns for, or in one case, I need to find the project itself. I have the pattern, but I don't have the project. I really need to do a cleanup of the boxes that are left in the living room so that I can find all my missing projects and start working on them. So this week, what I started and have been working on is this gorgeous thing. So I'll see if I can, yeah, you can see the stitch pattern really well there. So this is the Forest Park Cowl by Liz Abenanti. It's another freebie on Rav. Almost all of my patterns, I think it's a freebie. I might have actually bought this one. I'm not sure, but it's on Rav. So Liz Avenanti, and this is a gorgeous cabled cowl. It's going to be very warm because, and I don't have the label here because I have half of it. Hang on. I probably have the other half in here. No, I don't. Ooh, I thought I'd kept both halves. Oh, well. So this is what the second half of the label looks like. Not that that helps you. This is knit in Taki Yarns Donegal Tweed Homespun. It was a birthday gift from my friends Sylvie and Sarah, and the colorway is 814. You can see there. No, you focused. Cover my face. No, it focused and then it stopped. It is this is on a size US 7, again, 4.5 millimeter, not milliliters. It's a really, really, really easy pattern to memorize. Like there's 4 rows, and once you've gone through one pattern repeat, you've got it memorized. I did make a mistake. Hang on, let me find it. Here. So I had turned one of the cables the wrong way on this side, and I had to rip back about 16 rows. So you can actually see the gap between the 2 cables where I tink back and re-knit them. It'll come out in blocking because and if it doesn't, nobody's going to know except me. But it should come out in blocking because I had to tink back one side about 16 rows, fix the cable, and knit back up. So that was super fun. That was 2 entire episodes of The Good Doctor, I believe, where I was fixing that. But I love the way it looks. It's not for me, it's for a friend. So this is a beautiful, beautiful yarn. It is very scratchy, but it will soften when I block it because this is a very rustic, single ply, high twist yarn. I don't know if you can see the color there. So it's showing up a lot more gray. It's a brownish green. It's almost a khaki color. And it's got all these little tweedy bits in red and green and white that are super cute. And I just love the way it's knitting up. It's got great stitch definition. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how it plumps up because I know it's going to bloom, is it? No, it's blooming, right? Blooming when it's yarn. I know it's going to bloom when it gets washed, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what it looks like post-blocking. She suggests blocking it around 2 bottles of water or wine or something like that, something heavy and large. It's a tapered cowl. So you do 6 pattern repeats, and then you add a section right here. You add these stitches in to make it sort of widen out so that it fits over your shoulders properly. It's a gorgeous pattern. I'm loving how it's knitting up. I'm not quite close to being done. I have 6 more pattern repeats to do. So I have about, it's not that much. I only have about 24 rows left to do. I thought I had more than that. But no, hang on. 6 pattern repeats, 7 pattern repeats. Okay, so it's more like 28, but still, that's only 28 rows. It seems like more than that. I don't know. It felt like I had a lot more than that to do. But I do have a second skein of this because this is not going to cover 28 rows. This will cover maybe 5 or 6. I do have a whole other skein of it that I haven't wound up yet. So it is a very rustic yarn. For the first 2 days I was knitting with it, I had hives all up my forearms. I had them all over my hands. It was... But I got used to it, and now it's fine. Now I can actually like rub it all over my arms, and I have no problem. So this was bought for my birthday in 2016, and I kept trying to think of what the perfect project to make with it would be. And I finally decided, okay, I'm going to find myself a project for this. I looked it up. I think it was like 2 days after the last episode. Words. Mouth doesn't want to form the words that my head is trying to spit out. So I looked on Rav on the pattern search for things that were made with similar weight yarn. It's supposed to be an Aran weight. It's not like it's barely worsted, but again, it's going to bloom significantly when it gets washed because it's a very rustic, full, 100% wool yarn. And I'm loving it. I'm not usually one for the rustic yarns. I don't like scritchy yarn, but I'm loving this, and I can't wait to see how if it softens up when it gets washed. I'm very much looking forward to finishing it and blocking it. I've actually been itching to block that blanket because I want to see how good it looks blocked. I've been catching up on podcasts, and the difference between when somebody finishes something and when they block it has just been, I want to see it for myself. I've blocked like 2 projects in my entire life. I'm really bad. I don't block anything. But I mean, most of what I knit is socks and hats and mitts and stuff. So you don't really need to block those, but this is going to need to be blocked. This is beautiful. And I can't wait to see how it looks when it's finished. So that is the last of my works in progress. And I totally forgot to put my stash in here. I'll have to add that. So I am still looking for my papillon shawl by Marinja Knits, the project. I have the pattern, but I'm still looking for the project. It's somewhere in the house. I know it is because I had it at the temp apartment, the furnished apartment that I lived at before I moved in here. I had it there because I thought I was going to work on it, and I didn't. I didn't knit at all while I was there, or for almost a year afterwards. So I didn't work on it, but I know I had it there, so it can't be far. I plan on finding it this week. So I did have a stash acquisition. Sorry. I left everything on the end of the bed, so I have to reach to get it. I have not opened this yet. I was saving it for you guys, which is some major self-control on my part because these are pretty. So this is a Canadian dyer. Her name is Olive Park Yarns. Here's her logo. She is on Etsy. And the colors for this, Lord knows what I was doing on Etsy in the first place. I haven't been on Etsy in forever. But for some reason, I got a wild hair to go check out Etsy and look for minis. And I'm so glad I did because these are so pretty. And I've actually got a little knife here that I'm going to cut the tape with instead of... That's not going to work. But at least it opened it up. So I have not even opened this to look at them. That's how much I love you guys. Oh, there's tea. So Denise from Olive Park Yarns. She wrote a little note. And look at these. Look at these. The taupe is coming out really dark. Well, it's not really taupe. It's more of a plum, but it's coming out super, super dark on the screen. It's not that dark. Let's see. Nope, that way. Yeah. Directionally challenged for the win. So maybe, yeah, this is closer to the actual color, but it's coming up really dark for some reason. But there's a gorgeous gray, a lilac, an olive, and that plum, and they're tweed sock base. They're 20 grams each. They're so pretty. I am in love with them. They're so pretty. So I got minis. Yay! I haven't bought yarn in so long, y'all. It has been a while. And I got a double Earl Grey. Double bergamot Earl Grey. Okay, yes. So I've actually had this before and I really, really like it. But Earl Grey is the fella's favorite tea, so I might save that for him. We'll see. And that's her business card. Olive Park Yarns. Sorry, I know it's there. Nope, come on, you can do it. Stupid camera. I shouldn't say that because it's the only one I've got and I needs it. So stash acquisitions and works in progress and finished objects, and that's all I've got this week, which is good because I was hoping to keep it shorter than last time. And so I hope everybody's having a great holiday weekend. I'm hoping you get a long weekend out of it. I'm actually working all 4 days this weekend. I worked Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I'm working tomorrow as well. But tomorrow I work in the evening, so we're going to have lunch at my mom's for Easter. So that's all I got. There's no chocolate. There's no Easter stuff. There's no Pesach stuff. I didn't make a brisket this year. Didn't have time. So we'll see what the next episode brings, because other than finishing the cowl, I have nothing I'm working on right now. We'll see. I hope you all have a great weekend. Get outside, enjoy some sun, and spread a little kindness around. Everybody have a great week. Bye.